Haters are not bad. Haters just point out if you're doing something good or if you're doing something bad. That is all they do. The real enemy is allowing the haters to seep into your mind so that you veer off your track or you rush your journey. The haters actually have nothing to do with this. It's you. I am Mulligan, author of The Everyday Stoic, Simple Rules for a Good Life. I teach practical Stoicism to help you improve your life, improve your character, and become the best version of yourself. So if you're new here, welcome to the journey. And if you're old, welcome back. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, nutritiously complete food with everything that your body needs. Let's jump into the episode. It seems like with the rise of social media and everyone's sort of getting a big following, you might be an average Joe, but you've got 1,000 followers, you've got 5,000 followers, you've got 500 followers. And this is 500 people that now have access to your personal life in some way, which opens up the gates for haters. So pretty much everyone has haters online now, and some of us have haters in real life. I remember building this platform, with every 1,000 followers you probably get one hater. And then when you start to get to like 500,000 on YouTube or 500,000 on Instagram, you suddenly have lots and lots of haters that send you very horrible comments, very horrible messages. But learning Stoicism, these comments used to actually get to me. I used to think about them a lot. I used to listen to what they say, and I took it as offense. I ruminated on these things. But listening to Stoicism, I started to see that there's no such thing as haters, or haters aren't bad. In fact, I started to see haters as good, which seems weird. But this is all due to Stoicism. And now when I get hate comments, I actually like it. And I'll explain that to you, and you'll probably see my perspective and realize that you too will like hate comments. So haters are not the enemy. The real enemy is allowing the haters to seep into your mind so that you veer off your track or you rush your journey. These are the two enemies: veering off your track or rushing your journey. The haters actually have nothing to do with this. It's you that can veer off your track or rush your journey. So haters are not bad. Haters just point out if you're doing something good or if you're doing something bad. That is all they do. And if you think to a time when you've hated someone, or hated on someone, shall I say, which you probably have at some point in your life, maybe a celebrity, an influencer, a friend, a teacher, the bus driver, the Uber driver, someone at work, you've probably hated on them. And what was your reason? Especially when you're thinking back now, you can be a bit more honest with yourself. It was either you was jealous of them or they was doing something wrong. That's it. You was jealous or they was doing something wrong. So that's the same way people hate on you. They're either jealous or you're doing something wrong. If they're jealous, in a way, they're hating on you because they admire you. It means you're doing something right, which is good. It's a sign you're doing something right. I know people say if you get haters, it means you're doing something right. That's not always the case. It can also mean you're doing something wrong. And in this case, if someone hates on you because you're doing something wrong and they send you a message saying, hey, you're doing this, or they speak to you, they confront you in person, say, hey, I don't like this. Instead of just going, oh, you're a hater, shut up. And this is what I do now when I get these comments. I used to get many comments like this about the way I presented myself, the lessons I was giving, the way I look, whatever it was. And they used to annoy me, but then I started seeing them as, if someone says, oh, I don't like this about you, I can look at it and go, oh, maybe there's some truth to that. They've said it in a mean way that offends me, but maybe there's some truth in this and I can improve on this and I can prove myself. And then in terms of just malicious comments, because you do get a lot of malicious comments that are just no good. Obviously, this is because you're doing something right. They're just jealous of you. They want to tear you down. And it's easier if you're all the way up here in their eyes, you're doing good, and they're all the way down there. Instead of climbing up to your level, it's actually easier to pull you down like crabs in a barrel. It's easier to just pull you down to their level. And this is what people do. If they're way above you, then you pull them down to your level and you feel like you're equal. But the best thing to do is actually climb up and work hard to build up to that level. So now when I get these horrible comments, I see it as a challenge, which is great. But I'll explain that further. So haters are not the enemy. The real enemy is veering off your track or rushing your journey. These are the two enemies. So number one, veering off your track, veering off your path. The path, And there's two paths. There's the Stoic path, which is a path I follow. And this is what the Stoics call the good life, the path towards the good life. And this is living in accordance with nature. This was the end goal. This was the ultimate goal of Stoicism, is to live in accordance with nature. Now, nature is a very broad term, but I'll just explain it simply, is human nature is to be social with social beings. So it's to be proactive, to be good socially. And then it's also to be virtuous, to live by the four virtues of courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice, because this is what the Stoics say was the only good. Virtue is the only good. So be social and do good for the people around you, do good for yourself. So the path, simply put, is to follow courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice, and to be a good member of the cosmic community, the people around you, basically. Be a good person. And this is the Stoic path. So when I say don't allow haters to veer you off this path, I'm just saying, if someone's hating on you, saying these certain horrible comments, you know that you need to follow virtue. If you follow the Stoics, then don't allow them to, instead of being wise, you'd be foolish. Instead of being just, you'd be unjust. Instead of being courageous, you'd be cowardice. And haters can make us do that. Well, it's actually us doing it. We're reacting to the haters, but we can do things that are not virtuous. So stay on that path of virtue. Don't allow haters to push you off that path, because this is the path that leads you to the good life. It leads you to the best version of yourself. Second path is the path you're probably already on, even if you don't follow Stoicism. And this will sound a bit better to you, is your own personal journey. So whether you want to be a professional athlete, professional artist, you want to be a happy partner, you want to be a businessman, whatever it is, the haters will try to push you off that path, and it's up to you whether you want to stay on this path. So what you need to see is actually the haters are fuel for you to stay on this path even more. So say you want to be an artist and a hater says, your art's rubbish, they send you a message, your art's rubbish, I don't like this, you're an idiot. You can either see this as a knock to knock you off your path and go, right, I'm giving up art. Some guy online said I'm rubbish, it's not worth it. Or you can see it as fuel for your fire. Says, oh, he says my art's rubbish. Well, I'm going to get better at art. I'm going to improve. I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to show him or her that my art is good. So as long as you just say, I will stick to this path like it is the law of the universe. So I like to stick to the Stoic path of virtue, like it's the law of the universe, because that keeps your character always good no matter what. No matter if people try to push you off, just say, I'll stick to this path. I can retaliate to them. I can respond to them. I can stand up for myself, but I must stay on this path, my path. And then if you want to stick to your personal pursuits, you want to be an artist, then you're staying to that path. No matter what any hater says, no matter the mean comments, you stick to that path like it's the law of the universe, and you take any comments as fuel for you to go further on that path, as advice for you to go on that path, criticism, whatever it is. The goal is just to stay on that path. Now, staying on the path is the easy part. The second enemy, which is the hard part, is to not rush your journey. Now, this doesn't sound that important, but it's very important, and it's very hard to understand. So when I said a hater might comment on your art, say, it's rubbish, then you might try to prove them wrong. Say, no, my art's not rubbish. I'm going to prove you wrong. And what you do is you try to speed up your timeline to get ahead and prove them wrong, to go, hey, look, I'm the big man. I won. But oftentimes, the path to become the artist you're meant to be, or the path to become the person you're meant to be, or the businessman, businesswoman you're meant to be, the filmmaker, the athlete, in terms of, say, athleticism, you're trying to go for a 200 kilo bench, and a hater says, you can't do 200 kilos, you're an idiot. This goal of 200 might take you 5 years. It might take you 10 years, but say it's a 5-year journey. That's what's destined for you. 5 years of consistent effort every single day, following the path that we know is best. And we're on this track, slow progress daily, consistent steps, small steps daily, go great distance. But then we're doing this path for 2 years and it's going well. We're at 140 bench, 150 bench. And then a hater comes along and says, you're never going to get this, you're an idiot. And they hurt our ego, they make us feel bad. Now we've got the goal, we're like, I'm sticking to this path. Easy. We're stuck to the path. I'm not giving up. I'm not letting hate make me give up. But this is the real enemy, is the hater makes us, it adds too much fuel to this fire and we push beyond our journey. So instead of sticking to this incremental little steps every day that was going to get us there in 5 years, we try to rush it. We want to prove them wrong now. So we ruin our plan, we ruin our steps, and we try to rush the goal to prove them wrong instantly. So we can do it quickly, we can break our record and say, haha, you was wrong. And that little bit of gratification lasts a few seconds, then we realize it wasn't that important. But the downside to that is we created a plan in the first place. We created a procedure to get to our goal because this is the path there. It's the only path there. And if we try to shortcut that by 3 years because some hater makes us feel bad, then we're going to end up ruining our goal. We completely derail it, and we're going to speed up the journey too much that we completely go off path and ruin any goal. So we must understand little steps daily in the same aim every single day leads us to that destination. And it's easy to stay on the path, but if we allow a hater to make us push our goal because our ego gets hurt, then we'll never get there. And I see this all the time. People try to take these huge leaps every day. They go off their goal and they're like, I'm going to take a huge leap to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. And you're just jumping all over the place, trying to prove people wrong, and it will never get you there. A quick word from our sponsor, Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, nutritiously complete food with everything that your body needs. I really like Huel. When I was writing my book, I was using Huel to power me through every single day. When I had my daily greens, when I had my meals, when I had my shakes, it stopped me from going to the shop, buying a load of rubbish, buying a load of unhealthy food, wasting loads of money. And these things do add up. Those quick journeys to the shop every day, the money adds up, the unhealthy foods add up, the wasted time adds up. So if I ever get those cravings, I grab a Huel and it fills my cravings. I feel good, it tastes delicious, it's quick and easy. And if you have any interest in the Huel products, then check the link in the description. Let's get back to the episode. So you have your path, you have your goal, and you stick to it like it's a law of the universe. And then you write your steps there, you have your guidance there. With certain things, it's easy. People have laid out business plans, people have laid out fitness plans, all these kind of things. People have laid them out. It's been built over hundreds of years to have such a good path there, and you can tweak it a little bit for yourself. But staying on the path is the law of the universe. Staying at this pace is a law of the universe. Now, it doesn't mean you can not take big steps, but you know your pace, and you know if a hater upsets you, says something offensive, you don't just step off your game plan and go, I'm just going to prove him wrong now, attack. I'm going to set a PR now. No, you're in this path, you're in this structure that you're sticking to, because the ultimate goal, and this is the best advice, this is what I use when people are hating directly in front of me, they're saying horrible things in front of me, or they're saying horrible things online. Now, I'll explain the online ones because I've got many great examples. If someone's being horrible in front of you, someone cuts you off in traffic, they're swearing at you from their car, if you just remember that the ultimate goal is to always do what's best for you to get the best outcome, and this is what's best. So someone cuts you off in traffic. Initially, you want to get out of the car, swear at them, start a fight. But is this actually what's best for you? This will lead to you getting out your car, getting in a possible dangerous situation or stressful situation. You're going to waste loads of time. This might end up in an actual physical fight. It might end up in your car getting damaged. It might end up in their car getting damaged, and then the police getting involved, and then getting fined, losing loads of money, insurance getting involved, this kind of thing. And then you've wasted your whole day. Suddenly you're late home from work, and now you're stressed. You're bringing all that anger back home from this altercation. Just think in that moment, take a pause and go, what's actually best for me? So, yeah, my ego is damaged because the guy just cut me off and swore at me, but who actually cares? What's best for me is to just get on with it, get home, go to my lovely family and have a lovely evening. That kind of thing. So do what's actually best for you. And when this comes online, I've got my own advice with haters, because I get loads of hate messages on the Everyday Stoic, people selling me all kinds of things, and on my personal page. And my goal, and it's very easy for me, because I don't see haters. I get really excited when I get a horrible comment, and it's like the more horrible it is, the more excited I get, which is strange, but like it really does feel like that. It's really great. So someone sends me a really horrible comment or a really horrible message, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, right, this is a great challenge, because my ultimate goal is one of my goals is to become a better educator, a better communicator, a better helper, a better mentor. So it's easy to mentor people that are willing and kind. It's ideal if I say, hey, I want to teach Stoicism. And they're like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm going to live in accordance with nature. I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to help others. This kind of thing. I'm not going to worry about things outside of my control. I'm going to love my fate. All these kind of things we associate with Stoicism. Like, that would be a perfect student. They just say all these things, and all I have to do is like read them some text from the Meditations or the Enchiridion, and they're like, I got it, I'm doing it. But this is not life. Some people are just awful, really hard to deal with, very difficult. And I love these people, because these are the real challenges in life, because these are the people you're going to deal with in life. So I get a really horrible comment, and I think the more horrible it is, the more offensive it is to me. I don't like seeing it to other people. I don't think it's fair, because some people can't take this offense. But when I get a horrible message, I'm like, right, this is really bad. It says, how has this person got to such a level where they think this is okay? Now, initially, most times my ego, if I'm in a bad mood, my ego wants to say you're an idiot, because it's easy to embarrass them. It's easy to look good, especially when they've said something horrible in comments. I can always look good by saying just making them feel bad with some snarky reply, some witty reply, make them feel bad, make me look like a great guy. But my goal is to actually help them. So I think, right, this is a horrible comment. Why do they think this is okay? How do they think this is okay? What's wrong with what they're doing? What wrong will this do to their life? How does it harm others? I think about it for a while. I try reason with them. And I'll tell you something very interesting, is every single hate message I've ever received, comments, sometimes people just never reply to the comments, but every single hate message I've ever received, and some of them are just foul and horrible, every single one has always ended up positive. Every single one. And what I like about that, and it's not necessarily a fact, but the way I like to see it is, this person used to think it's okay to send these messages, and after dealing with me, they now see it's not okay, and they start to be a better person. Every single one has said something horrible, and I've replied, and they've either gone, sorry, I never thought you would read this, I'm really sorry, I love your stuff, or we've had a long conversation and they've gone, yeah, you're right, I've just been in a bad way, I'm going to stop doing this, it's not fair, or something along those lines. It's always ended up very positive. And if I just rebutted them and made them feel like an idiot, then they feel like an idiot. And if someone feels like an idiot, feels like a fool, they feel like they're a villain, they're going to act more on these things. They're going to act out and prove people that they are these things. But if you reason with them, help them understand what they're doing is wrong without making them feel like a fool, and you can educate them to become a better person, then you've done good. And it's amazing. And at the time, your ego feels a bit hurt, like, what does that guy know? How can he say these horrible things about me? But when a few days later, you'll realize, man, that was awesome. That is truly awesome. That's how I deal with these haters. I really do not see haters anymore, actually. So haters either telling me I'm doing something wrong so I can fix it. They tell me I'm doing something right, so hooray for me. Or it's a chance for them, for me to educate them, for me to grow my character by dealing with someone troublesome. And the two enemies, do not veer off your path. Do not veer off your path. So if you follow the Stoic path of virtue, living in accordance with nature, or you're following your own path of becoming the person you want to be, never veer off that path no matter what the haters say. And never rush your journey because what the haters say. Go at your pace, the pace that you know will work for you. And hopefully this helps you deal with haters. I mean, it's pretty awesome that we don't see haters anymore. So hopefully, if you're listening to this, I'd like to know what you think of today's episode. What do you think of haters? Maybe send me a hate message if you feel like it. See how I'm going to deal with that. I hope you have a wonderful day.
If you're wanting to grow more from the teachings of Stoicism, then I do recommend my book, The Everyday Stoic: Simple Rules for a Good Life. This is the blueprint that I followed over a decade to go from scared, anxious, weak, feeling like a victim of life to becoming confident, happy, and having direction. I followed the blueprints in this book. These are my method, my steps to get there. It's got personal anecdotes and it's the way I understood it. I've made it simple and understandable with practical steps. I really hope it helps you. I hope you have a wonderful day.